Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Ah, man, I definitely picked a weird show to watch. This show has no holding back. I'm guessing there shouldn't be an unedited version. This feels very uncut, unedited, uncensored. So with this week's episode, it feels like if I don't know what to say. Like there is so much just straight in your face this week's episode that if you are truly into this for the fan service, you are literally crying right now of joy, and I get it. But did y'all see how hype the battles are about to get? That's all. I mean, not just the battle, but our character is growing. Uh, and he's growing in multiple ways. I'm guessing, So we also see a little bit of the preview that gives me hope for his character to grow in the grand scheme of not just being a little doll that they got to protect that's fragile and stuff like that, which I guess is fine because if you think about it and you really, really think about it, there's so many shows where the opposite is so, where the guys are always protecting, some girl that seemingly has powers, but she's not strong enough to protect herself. Bleach. Dragon Ball Z. Ah, I was clearing my throat on that one. But all of these different, shows that have used the trope of girls kind of being the weaker one and needing to be helped and stuff, I think this is a good change of them being able to be like, okay, well, here's a guy that literally could do nothing without us. The one time he does get a little bit of a boost this week to do anything, he straight up gets slapped multiple times in his face. Like, I'm not joking. He actually got slapped. So it's one of those things where you're just kind of like, oh, he's not growing quickly, so maybe it's one of these wait him out shows. But to be fair, I almost would rather it not be that case, right? Like I almost rather it be him staying at a potentially weakened level. Like sure, he can take out those demons that were taking over the students because they're trash, and any of them should be able to do that, which I don't understand why it's such a scary dilemma. But then we see that they can manifest blades, the Omas or whatever, the demons can manifest blades out of these shadows, these orbs on their heads. So I get it now that it would be super dangerous to fight. There's over 862 people that really actually helped narrow down how dangerous the situation was for the girls trying to protect our old boy. So I do love the little details. I think all of these little details are the one thing that make the show for me not just feel like it's, oh, look at this girl, look at that girl, look at this girl. Like they're not even really doing anything with the guys, so you can tell it's all for the boys in this show. So I do apologize for any ladies who thought they were gonna see some shirtless guy, but I guess if you like treating the guy like he's a puppy or a slave or whatever the case these girls be treating him as, I guess that might be fun for you too. I don't know. But overall, I definitely understand why a lot of people are watching this show. Like my very first review on this show, I compared it to High School DX, and that was just the first episode. So to think that this episode came through and the only thing the hands did were act as octopus tentacles and other things that Japanese people or people like to create and watch, that's all I saw was them just acting as they were octopus type of deals, hands, and trying to have fun. I don't know. I don't know why that was the way they consumed the girls, but I quickly understood that I was thinking too hard about it, and that was just part of a way to be like, yes, this is why, another reason why you'll have to see close-ups and really like it went from them just having stuff pulled down to them all of a sudden having everything hanging out. Okay, so, and actually, no, it makes a lot of sense now. Like I said, the small details, I'm still thinking about these details. So the girl who's the queen, practically, supposedly, like she is the maybe eldest, or she is just by power alone the queen. We haven't really gotten that much info, but from this preview, it made it feel like she has much more of a grand standing than the other girls, and she even feels like the mother feature, so it makes sense that our mother feature. She feels like the mother character, so it makes sense that she would be the oldest, and if she's not the oldest, at least one of the strongest, because of how much time she would have to work with her powers and manifest it without having a lover, if that is, like the case, if they never actually had one, and this guy is the first, and that's why they're leveling up finally. Um, it can't be their first lover because the captain is so strong, unless they're just naturally, some of them are naturally broken from the base form, and then when they get their power, they're even more broken. I'm not fully sure, Pete, guys, but I'm still paying attention. So the small details that I noticed, though, is the Majesty, or like, Miss Castle, uh, who can, bring up these shields, and she was the one that was playing the game of lose your undergarments, lose your panties. Um, she does that because what is the first thing that happens to these girls every single time these demons attack them? They go for the clothes, they go for the underwear, you know what I mean? So by these girls losing those things and pretty much being humiliated for it, it's practically the training that the oldest gives them, because guess what's going to happen to you every time you go to the battlefield and you mess up? You're going to be straight up stripped down. So that is crazy. That is actually crazy if you think of it like it's training them for these situations. And it makes sense that the girls who have probably lost the most to her in the pants thing are probably the ones that are the most willing to jump in front and take a bullet for somebody who is younger than them, or that's just their character trait, is they don't want to witness somebody getting hurt right in front of their eyes. They rather be the one taking the blunt of the attack than watching it. So that could always be a thing. But yeah, with how that all played out, it was not in their favor at all. Until, of course, my lady shows up in the classroom, because the captain was going around throwing threads on everybody, making sure she can track them, making sure that she can understand. So she's tracking that many people, fighting on par with people, with girls that haven't been doing anything or tracking anything. So and I'm talking about the captain with the spear that's down low protecting the barrier. She already took out like 5 or 6 people, and then she had another horde in front of her. So I don't know. I really do like the small parts of this show. I probably won't even take like pictures or screenshots of all the fan servicey stuff, because I don't really care for it as much as I was liking the animation towards how the main villain looked the whole time, with all of the animation done to his cloak or his body, whatever the heck that white is on him that's actually moving and stuff. Absolutely hype. So yeah, I definitely would like to hear what you guys are getting from this, if you are getting any plot out of this, or if you are just enjoying yourself. And like I said, you guys always need an anime where you can just turn your brain off and watch it. And this one, I have to actually almost keep my brain on, because I'll miss these small details that have been introduced, and I'm still trying to figure out why this would be even plausible or understandably used in the future. And somehow the show is doing that, which is blowing my mind right now. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you tomorrow, or maybe if something shows up, I'll drop something again tonight. But for now, expect to hear from me on Wednesday. So with that, peace.